We are blurry and we are live. G'day everyone, Dave coming to you blurry, camera going in and out at the moment. I am in New Orleans, Louisiana, United States at the moment. And we're having camera difficulties. Yeah, it's the beauty of doing live, isn't it, eh? All right, so today we are, if we can deal with these camera issues. Welcome everyone to the Thursday morning live stream from Circle Leadership. I apologize for the camera going in and out at the moment. I'm hoping we've got that resolved. It's looking good at the minute. We're going to be talking about OKRs, very popular methodology these days for organizations to use. It's being used obviously by Google, Apple, you name it. Many of the larger organizations around the world have adopted this theory or this methodology. Hey, Alonzo, how are you, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Let's bring my mouse over here. We got Alonzo. I think you're in San Antonio, aren't you, Alonzo? I did say Alonzo. That's right. By the way, Alonzo is an amazing comedian. He's doing some epic work. He's going to be teaching leaders all around the world how to learn from comedy. So check him out on LinkedIn. He's a fantastic comedian who's going to be teaching people how to learn from comedy, and really excited about the work he's doing in this world. So mate, thanks for tuning in, Alonzo. Guys, what we're doing here today is we'll look at objectives and key results. As I said, this is being used by large organizations around the world. It was created by Andy Grove, and then John Doerr wrote the book, Measure What Matters. And we've been using it at Circle Leadership now as a methodology for our organization for, at least since 2017, 18, I believe. And we've been working with it in a way that we've been helping small businesses to leverage the same process that these larger organizations have. But what we found through working with these small businesses, there's a lot of things that the books written by Andy Grove and John Doerr, who talk about OKRs extensively, that small businesses need to understand and how to leverage that methodology in their organization. Because what a lot of organizations end up doing is they say, we're not going to use traditional goal setting anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to take this new OKR thing and put it into our organization. So the first thing you need to understand when looking at introducing OKRs to your organization is you can't take a new way of thinking and put it into your old way of doing. It won't work. Because what happens then is people go, we use these OKRs and it doesn't work. And they think OKRs are no good and they're not effective for the organization. What it is, and what's not talked about in the books, and what those organizations like Apple and Google and various other ones that use OKRs have, is the frameworks in place and a structure in place that allow OKRs to thrive. They have the right culture to allow OKRs to thrive. So one of the key important things here that you're not told about is you need to have the right culture in place for OKRs to work. Also, please understand you cannot take OKRs and put it into your old way of doing. You need to look at the whole way that you structure OKRs in your organization. So that's really important to understand when you're looking at adopting OKRs as a strategy for your business. Now, what I want to share with you guys today online is I want to just quickly show you why we chose OKRs and why we think they're so important to use. Here we go, camera again. Why they're so important to use with your organization, and how they can benefit you when you put it into the right system. Like, you have to develop the right system in your organization to put OKRs in. So I want to share with you why we use them, and then how we use them, and what frameworks you need to have in place. Okay, so let's go into it. I'm going to jump onto the whiteboard here, as always. So firstly, I want to talk about this. The reason why we chose to use OKRs for our own self and with our clients is because OKRs to us follow the same process for human behavior. Now, the best way to get people to follow a system process is to get the process to follow human behavior. In the past, what we would do is we would put these things into our organizations and try to get people to adapt to the system. Well, what we believe is you should create the system that adapts to the way that human beings think and act. So I'm going to highlight, and you would have seen if any of you watched any of our previous live streams that we've done, just a quick highlight and overview of obviously the process for human behavior, and then we'll show you how OKRs ties in so beautifully. So firstly, as human beings, success there you go. Success, however we choose to define that for ourselves, has come from our results. Okay, so these are the things that I want to have in my life. Now, those results that I have accomplished in my life have come from the way I've behaved, right? And if you look at that, it's just basically how I've acted. So I've done these things, which achieves these results and achieves this level of success in my life. Now, what drives human behavior? How we think determines how we act. As a person, think and grow rich. I think, therefore I am. So if we look at this here, let's put these on here. Success is just more about who do you want to become. So if you work at, well, what would I like to have that I don't have in my life right now? Well, then who would I need to become to have that? And how would that person behave? And if you look at the word behave, it's just be and have together. So this is a process for human behavior, a much abridged version of it. So how does this relate to objectives and key results? Well, if you look at objectives and key results, the way that they're set up, let's pick a different color here. Success is the fulfillment of the objective. So you map out what is the objective, right? What is it that we must accomplish? And then when you look at your key results, then what are the 3 key results that we would have that would show that we've achieved that objective? Right? So you map out what are the 3 key results for that objective, right? So who do we, what does success look like? Well, that's the accomplishment of the objective. What key results would show that we've achieved that? And then what we get into is then the tactical planning is what would we need to do to achieve those? So basically, how are we going to do those things? Now, this is really important because when you think about your organization, please understand that words form a narrative. Just get this on here for you guys. And then numbers tell the story. Now, as human beings, we love a good story. All right. So we want to create a narrative. So the objective is what must be accomplished. This here becomes the narrative of the business. And then when we go, well, narrative, we must have an aligned team, right? That's the objective. We need to get everyone on the same page in our organization. So that is the objective, to get an aligned team. Well, how would we know we have an aligned team? Well, then we would go, what would be the key results that would show that we have that aligned team? Story. So when you're looking at your objectives and your key results, the key results will either be let me just change colors here so we have something. Your key results will either be a percentage, a number, or a dollar, a measured, some form of metric or measurement. So how would we know we have an aligned team? Well, we'd have everyone on the same page. We'd have 100% of people understand our roadmap. We would have every single person in the organization. So 100% of the people would have roles and responsibilities, templates, and or whatever it is that you're working on and what the key results are that would show that we've achieved that objective. Okay, because it will follow human behavior. And if we do these things, we will achieve these results and it'll achieve this level of success. And this is how you use objectives and key results. And it follows the process for human behavior. Human beings love a narrative and a story. Words form the narrative and numbers tell the story. So you can say, here's what success looks like. Here's the results that show that we have that. And then what we do here at this level, in the tactical level, you get people involved in the work, involved in decisions about the work. So people then, you don't tell people how to do their jobs when you have objectives and key results. What we're doing is you tell us how you think you could achieve these results. Here's what success we're looking for. Here's the results that would show we've achieved that success. You tell us how you think we can do that. So then this gives people a sense of ownership of the work that they're doing. Now, of course, the thinking of the organization, we all know, is your values. And so long as they're acting within the values of your organization, We know then if they're acting in sort of the values, it should drive the right behaviors, cause us to do the right things to achieve the result and the success that we're looking for. And this is why OKRs work so well in small businesses, because words form a narrative, numbers tell the story. We can build this beautiful internal story so everyone can start to see, because when we tell a narrative and a story, people can start to see pictures in their head, and they can start to see what results we're looking for, see what success looks like. And seeing is believing. And this is when people can see the future of the organization, they can see themselves having a future in the organization. So this is why we use objectives and key results for an organization, because it follows human behavior. Now, I'm going to take a risk here. That didn't pan out. Technology at its finest. Okay, here we go. So I hope you're enjoying this technical difficulties we're having. Let's move that across. So here's the 4 frameworks that you need to have in place. If you want to have objectives and key results in your organization, like I said, you can't take a new way of thinking and put it in your old way of doing. You have to have these frameworks in place. First framework you need to have in place is your culture framework. Okay, you have to have the culture framework. You need to have the right culture in place. And remember, your culture is your purpose, your values, and your vision. Then you need to have the strategic framework in place. And this is where we create the alignment between culture and strategy. Here is your mission and the objectives. Right? Then you need to have your performance framework in place. And that is all the key results, the metrics, the numbers, the dollars, the percentages that will show we've achieved those objectives. And then the last framework, of course, you need to have in place is the tactical framework, which is the how-to. Because when you use objectives and key results in your organization, you're building a what must be accomplished strategy. And what must be accomplished becomes mandatory. How and when we get there is arbitrary. And we need to get people involved in that. So when you have your purpose, values, and your vision clear, the 3 hallmarks of an invincible culture, and then from that, it gives birth to your mission. And then your mission is defined by the 6 objectives that must be accomplished to show you've achieved that mission. And then each one of those has its 3 key results. And then you get the team involved in how to do it. And this is why you should use objectives and key results in your small business to evolve and stay relevant. But you just can't replace whatever your strategic planning process was that you had before. You must embrace not only the 4 frameworks in place, you have to, well, they definitely need to be in place so that you can actually insert the objectives and key results into that methodology. If you just try to take it in the old way of thinking, it won't work. It will fail. People just think of it as a new way to do goal setting and will treat it just like goal setting. And you lose all the magic and power of objectives and key results in your organization. So just come back here. All right. So sorry for some of the technical glitches there. I'm here in New Orleans. Obviously, internet and some challenges. Doing this on the road, but that's cool. This is what happens when you travel on the road. Hopefully, though, you understand. So some of the key elements just to remember is you can't take a new way of thinking and put it in your old way of doing. You have to have the 4 frameworks in place. You must have your cultural framework, your strategic framework, your performance and tactical frameworks in place. Use OKRs because it follows human behavior. People love stories. People want to see the future. And when you do it right and you articulate it in a way where the objective defines success and the key results, so the words form the narrative and the numbers tell the story, you can engage people into the work that they're doing. And then they'll be more involved and want to be more involved, and they will come up with how to do it. So anyone has any questions about objectives and key results for your organization, some of the frameworks and stuff that we do, just put hashtag OKRs in the comments and we'll send you some more information that you can have to look at OKRs and are they the right fit for your organization. If you'd like to have a conversation with us about it to show you how it might work for your organization, once again, hashtag OKRs, and Jordan, our client concierge, will reach out to you and set up a time for you to have a chat with us about it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Again, apologize for some of the glitches there, but we got through it. Hopefully that was of value to you guys. Coming to you live on the road in New Orleans. Circle Leadership Thursday mornings. It's Thursday morning in Australia. It's Wednesday evening here in New Orleans. really look forward. I think Lisa's going live, or she may have already gone live. I'll have to apologize. She normally goes live on the next day. Look for hers. If she hasn't already gone live, watch it for tomorrow. If she has already, please jump on and take a look, because she'll be looking at OKRs from a different perspective as well. And there's been a lot of content in our newsletter this week about objectives and key results that you can access as well. Alonso, man, thanks for tuning in. Check out Alonso. Please check out him. And you see him on LinkedIn here. Check him out. Funny man. But he's going to be doing some epic work. If you ever want to learn from comedy to make yourself a better speaker, presenter, anything like that, please check him out. He's going to be doing some epic work in that space. Until next Thursday, thanks very much, guys. And yeah, mate, absolutely, Alonso. We'll speak to you soon. Let's put that up so everyone can see. Take a look at this right now, Alonso. Get that man's name and check him out and follow him, please. I think next Thursday I might be on a plane, so it may not be live next Thursday, but we'll see what happens there. On that, guys, tune in and we'll check for any comments. Hashtag OKRs. Love the fact that you guys are participating in this, and anything we can do to help you would really be glad to do so.